So, good evening, good evening, good evening. My voice is a little bit croaky after all the screaming and shouting at the telly yesterday, but we are back again. Obviously, you can see the big smile on my face. My goat finally got his hands on the big trophy, and what a game of football! End to end, mad scenes left, right, and centre. Another great performance from the goat, and a great performance for a 40-minute period from Mbappe, who scored a hat trick. All three penalties that he took went the same way. Any coincidence that a Tottenham goalkeeper couldn't save any in the shootout? I think not. But we're going to dissect all of that in a bit. Jez, how are you, mate? How you been?
All good. All good. Had a really, really busy day, so that's why I was late. So I apologise. Just getting everything ready for the old Christmas Day and everything. Running around like an idiot. But yeah, loved that World Cup. Loved it. You know, I've said many times, I'm not a lover of international football, but I have to say that was a spectacle. And that final, without a doubt, best World Cup final I've ever seen. No question.
Yeah, what about you, Kenny? I know you're a big advocate of international football.
Oh, I love it. For me, and I've got a great respect for the fact that people like the Premiership and miss it. I get it, but I've had the best 5 weeks of my life without the pressure of Arsenal this, listening to people who I don't really go on Twitter, but just having their opinions thrown at me. You know, it's been a welcome break. But one thing I want to say to Arsenal fans, quick reminder: Emiliano Martinez plays for Aston Villa. He's not ours. It was ours only in name only, and he rarely played for us. So if it's Aston Villa's triumph, not ours. So don't do the Spurs thing by saying, "Oh yeah, he's not ours." All right. Because what you do, you open up to the fact that Romero, Spurs' centre half, won the World Cup with Argentina, and that
so did Juan Foyth.
Yeah, and Juan Foyth. So, but Juan Foyth doesn't place for Villarreal. He's not Spurs'. It's Aston Villa's triumph. It's not Arsenal. So, kindly relax yourselves, guys, and just think before you walked into, because a few pork chops walked into a trap set by Spurs fans and fell right into it. But also, we had we're going to talk about it. Alex Scott, Gary Lineker, Dean Saunders. You know, all the other people who wanted to.
Gary Lineker, Gary Neville.
You know that song.
Go on, mate.
Yeah, I feel like I'm like Christine Aguilera. You know, when she did a rip off of the Slim Shady song. Please shut up, guys. Go away. You're boring. We don't hear about you virtually singling. We enjoyed the World Cup, and Alex Scott. You're going to talk about it anyway. But as I said before, I hope your money is cleared in your bank accounts.
100%. Yeah, let's dive straight into that. Big up to everyone watching, by the way. Make sure you are subscribing to JEZ'S, his channel link. I'm going to put that. I forgot to do it. I'm going to put that in the chat, in the description now with Kenny's Instagram. So make sure you follow the guys as well. The pinned comments, my other channel. We're over 6.5K, so thank you on that one. Appreciate it. Keep flying up the subs on that. I'll be uploading from January. But yeah, let's dive straight into this. Alex Scott chatting absolute rubbish all the way through this tournament, and then ends up in an executive lounge, eating the finest foods and drinking the finest drinks. Gary Lineker crying like an absolute baby, opened the World Cup without showing the ceremony on BBC, and ended the World Cup crying about Leo Messi wearing the bish that the guy gave him. And it's mad. Dean Saunders, I've heard today, saying the World Cup should never have been in Qatar, yet he spent 4 weeks in Qatar. Martin Keown and Simon Jordan today crying about Messi. Well, not Simon Jordan so much. He said it was a bit odd. But Martin Keown was saying, oh, it shouldn't have happened. I just genuinely, the hypocrisy of these people is insane. They've all been out in there. They've all been out in Qatar. They've all been getting paid a flipping fortune to be out there representing whatever TV channel they're on. And all they have done is chat absolute crap, right? And they can go on about the human rights and all of this. I see Alex Scott the other day in that third place playoff sitting there saying, oh, we get caught in a European bubble. No, you got caught in a virtue signaling bubble, you tramp. Yeah, it's as simple as that. Yeah, because it was fashionable to slag off Qatar at the time. And then you're taking hospitality off of them. in an executive box. Like, what is going on here? Like, genuinely, what is going on here? Like, I didn't watch every single game of that World Cup. I watched every game of Argentina. I watched all the England games. Yeah, and I watched the second half of the third place playoff. I watched a few others here and there. Right. And the one thing I see from that World Cup is the atmosphere in the grounds looked amazing, super loud. The Moroccan fans, the Argentinian fans, they were elite. Yeah, there was no trouble at all. Yeah, nobody's getting drunk and smashing each other up outside stadiums because there was no alcohol allowed at the stadiums, even in the bars around the stadiums, and you could have drink in them. But that wasn't put out in the media because that didn't fit the narrative. It was just a party atmosphere. I know loads of people that are out there. Yeah, and like it just looked like a great atmosphere. So all these idiots that are sitting chatting crap need to shut up. Like, I've seen a journalist today, Charles Watts. Yeah, I'm calling that knob out as well. Absolute bellend, that geezer. Yeah, absolute bellend. He said something like it was the longest wait to presentation for the trophy, and then we end up with the photo being ruined. Mate, you're in a country, yeah, that are probably one of the most respectful to other people that I've seen from what I've seen of the footage, right? It looks like one of the cleanest countries on the planet. It's not like fucking London where there's rubbish everywhere, right? And from everyone that I've heard on TV and everyone that I know that's there have said it's been absolutely amazing. So when I see these idiots sitting chatting crap, right, what you have to understand is you're in another country. You have to respect the laws and the faith and everything of that country that you're in. You can't just run around doing what you want because you're English. Like, it don't work like that. And I thought it was actually quite fitting that he handed in the robe. I thought it was fitting because for me, yeah, even though it's a different faith and all of that, for me, it was almost like Jesus was holding the World Cup. Do you know what I'm saying? It just looked amazing, man. I thought it was quality. And listen, Messi's a big ambassador for Qatar Airways, I think. So yeah, obviously they were probably briefed before that final anyway. Yeah, before it kicked off, that the captains were probably briefed and told, if you win, we're going to pass this to you, blah, blah, blah. So I don't think it was weird. I don't think it was weird at all. What did you make of all of this crap, Jez? And then obviously the passing of the robe yesterday. What did you make of it all?
Well, I've got no time for journalists, full stop, Lee. They're just full of crap, talk out their arse. They're getting paid tens of thousands of pounds to go out there stay in fabulous top world-class hotels, as you said, eating fabulous food, drinking the best drinks you can get, and yet they sit there slagging things off. No, I mean, as for Elliot Scott, I mean, I can't stand the woman anyway. I think she's a complete arsewipe. And yeah, I think the fact that he got given the bish, it's a mark of respect from Qatar. You know, he got given that by the Qatar royalty. So fair play. I don't give a shit that he got. He got given that. He deserves it. You know, without question, he's the greatest footballer I've ever had the privilege to watch. And, you know, I can remember, as you probably can, watching the likes of Pele, Rivellino, all these great Brazilian players. But this guy's something else. He's from a different universe. I mean, he's 35 and he was carving up players yesterday like he was 19. So fair play to him. And well done, Argentina. I had France to win. That was my team.
You did, yeah, you did actually.
And it was, and I say again, it was a great final. Best World Cup I've ever witnessed. Thoroughly got into the spirit of it. I didn't think I would, but I did. I think I missed in total 5 games. So I've been sat here watching some awesome football. But these journos, they need to get a life. They've been paid to go out there, have a great time for 5 weeks or whatever it is, and then they sit there and show disrespect. No, if they don't like what they do, then sod off. Let somebody else do the job. Because I'll tell you what, I wouldn't have mind being out there paid tens of thousands of pounds for 5 weeks.
To watch football.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, staying in 5-star hotels, having fine foods, fine drinks. No, I've got no time for them at all. And if they don't like it, sod off and go and work in McDonald's.
The one thing I'll say, yeah, and big up to everyone watching this, smash the likes up, people. One thing I will say here, like the stadiums, like they're getting paid. They put on a proper show, mate. Yeah, may have took ages for the ceremony to. Who gives a shit? I was enjoying it. I was enjoying watching all of it and seeing the fireworks go off and like players going up and getting their individual awards and that. I've seen people crying about Emi Martinez. Who gives a fuck? The guy was caught in the moment. He's just won a World Cup. Like, yeah, he was probably stupid to do what he did. Who cares? Like, he was playing right in front of the king as well. I was thinking, what are you doing? Yeah, but who cares? Like, I'm not going to lose this sleep over it. There's the picture I put on my Instagram. The king's looking at him with him doing this. And I'm like, what are you doing, bro? Yeah, but you get caught in that bubble. Yeah, and I can imagine after you've saved some penalties, yeah, and it must be the same feeling saving a penalty in a final than it is scoring a goal in a final. Yeah, that like you're caught in the moment. I can't imagine what that feels like. I've never been that good at football, so but I can imagine. And you get caught in the moment. But the way people are going on about it, like turn it in. Kenny, what have you made of it all, mate?
Well, first and foremost, Emi Martinez, he was hilarious when they go, "Oh, don't do that," you know, Gary Lineker, Pablo Zabaleta, and I can hear Rio Ferdinand laughing, and I thought, thing with Emi Martinez, if we start with Emiliano Martinez, he's not an Arsenal player. He's not one of us. Yeah, we could say that, you know, Arteta made the right or wrong decision. Doesn't really matter. He's Aston Villa's, and Aston Villa fans should sing in the night for their player. He's not ours. So, you know, clearly the reason why he's doing things like that, he's basically, it's symbolic. He's basically sticking two fingers up to people who he felt didn't give him a chance. And the only people who really give a chance was really us. He's probably sticking two fingers up to Arsenal fans who slag him off because he had the temerity to be upset because it didn't work out for him at Arsenal. Arteta prefers Leno and other goalies over him, so he's probably doing it with Arsenal as always critics. But in terms of Alex Scott, I've got no time for her as well. I don't rate her as a journalist, a sports journalist. You know, she's had many chances to impress me, and she hasn't. You know, she wasn't even good on the women's Euros. There was better, like I said, pundits than her who wiped the floor with her. She isn't a good pundit. She's not a very good presenter at all. But she's getting a lot of chances, and great. She's got a great agent, and respect to that. But when you when you come out with all the nonsense you came out with and trying to dictate to us, right, about whether we should be happy with the tournament should be held in Qatar. Well, sorry, we don't care. It's the World Cup. It's our World Cup that we look forward to 4 years. We don't need you to do that. And what license players pay for is the World Cup involves the matches, the final, the semi-final, quarterfinals, last 16, and the opening and closing ceremonies. We want it as fans. We used to that with the Olympics, so we didn't need you to do that. Yesterday, we had a closing ceremony. I had to go ITV to watch that. It should be on the BBC. You had no right
on YouTube.
Yeah,
the Spanish commentary, the Spanish TV channel I watched, big up Santi Cazorla though, he was on commentary, proper player, right? But the Spanish TV channel never showed it either.
But they got, they had no right to do it. And seriously, when the opening ceremony's on, I don't want to hear you, Gary, talking about it. I didn't want you to go over to, to Mark Chapman, to go and talk about how England did at the World Cup. We know what happened. England failed at a major tournament again. We don't want to hear about Gareth Southgate staying. Is he staying or is he going? We kind of worked out he weren't going nowhere because, one, the FA haven't got the cojones to sack him, and two, they feel there's no one in. So we didn't need to know about it. We wanted entertainment. We wanted to talk about and see the opening ceremony. Gary Lineker, all day long. I've got a lot of time for him as a footballer. I rated him very high as a player. I think he's a good journalist. But what you're doing now is that you're basically meant to present it to us and give us what we want. We don't want you to go on about this. It's about things that is no interest to us. We're not stupid. We watch the news. We know what goes on in Qatar. We know what doesn't go in Qatar. And what we do know is that when you're in someone else's country, you show some bloody respect. Right. Messi, it was an honour for Messi to have that robe. Because, again, he's in a Muslim country. It was the king of Qatar, and he's showing the ultimate respect and a big thank you for providing major entertainment, which was the World Cup final. Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo are ambassadors for the Middle East. They've been promoting the tournament. David Beckham has been out there. You've got some British comedian burning 10 grand when we're in a we're in a recession and we're in cost of living. You've got some prat who a year ago no one ever heard of, burning burning 10 grand when we got people, workers going on strike because they're not getting a decent living. Yet this prat is burning it because he has a protest of David Beckham, because David Beckham is some sort of representative. David Beckham has always been about that. David Beckham never really gave interviews when he played, and then you got people.
Sure Beckham don't care. He got paid 150 million quid for the
Jazz Shark. They're cut with Tim Cahill because he's not saying anything about the organisation or the factors in Qatar. Well, not too funny. He's been living in Qatar for 2 or 3 years, getting paid millions of pounds, or if you want to convert it to Australian dollars, millions of Australian dollars to feed his family, because after football, they have to earn a living. Yet you want them to turn down these millions of pounds. You don't want Ronaldo to go to the final. You don't want Pogba out there because we just boycott the final because we didn't want it in Qatar, so we're just going to show some disrespect. No, sorry, it doesn't work like that. If you don't like it, then all you've got to do is just stay at home, watch it at home on TV, go from a TV camera. But you didn't. You went to one of the best TV studio locations at Doha. You had the best hotels in Doha with a gym, and you enjoyed the hospitality. Yet you spent all the time criticising the country. Who made that?
I wonder whether Leah Williamson watched the final.
Well, Leah Williamson, I couldn't give a damn about what Leah Williamson did. Because the fact is that a lot of Arsenal fans went, "Oh, how can you slag off Alex Scott because she plays for Arsenal? How can you slag off Leah Williamson? She plays for Arsenal." Well, I'm telling you that 5 years ago, you couldn't care less whether she played for Arsenal or not because you weren't watching women's football.
They still don't now, Kenny. The only people that watch women's football are old men and kids.
Yeah, but even so, I'm not disrespecting women's football. What I'm trying to say is that just because Alex Scott played for Arsenal, because Leah Williams is their women's captain, it doesn't mean, right, that I'm going to not enjoy something or look forward to something I've been waiting for 4 years. They don't dictate how I think. They don't dictate what I should do. And they certainly do not dictate, whether the tournament's in Qatar or not. If they don't want to be part of this, then all they've got to do is accept their wages, never ever do any boot deals, never do any kit deals, don't do any sponsorship and merchandise. Because I'll tell you one thing, right? The people you're going to get in bed with to make money outside football are all probably presidents or like kings of countries in the world that you may not approve of. So if you don't approve of them, stop taking their money.
In fact, mate, Arsenal was sponsored by Fly Emirates and Adidas. Yeah, like let's have it right here. Fly Emirates and Adidas. Yeah, Leah Williamson can shut her mouth. As for Alex Scott, the only reason people rate her is because men and women fancy her. That's it. Like, let's be real. What comes out of her mouth is complete toilet. Like, that woman chats absolute crap. There's been other
rubbish. There's been other useless ones. There's been other useless pundits who should never have been on there. I mean,
Jill Scott, that's another one. She shouldn't be there. What does she bring to the table?
Yeah, but you think about Eni Aluko's rubbish. She's rubbish.
She was on Fox Sports at the start of the tournament.
And she was like,
and she ends up on that chat. I'm like, what is going on here?
She made mistake after mistake, and she was nervous. She was struggling. She's not a good pundit. The fact is you look at the England-France game. You wanted on the pitch side. You wanted ex-player. You wanted a French international, and you wanted an England national. You've got bloody Jill Scott, who was in I'm a Celebrity. You've got Karen Barney, and you've got Laura Woods, who was chasing people around 6 years ago to do interviews for the spin-off of Soccer AM. I'm sorry, but
the only reason that woman's got a job, that Laura Woods, she must be with the right person, mate. Trust me, that's all I can say. Or her agent is better than Chupa Moton's agent.
You know what's happening,
mate? Because that woman's all shit as well.
Sorry, Cutty. If people watching this, they're going to want to cancel us. Well, you can't cancel which can't be cancelled. I'm not part of your YouTube world. I'm here to have a laugh.
Don't worry, Kenny. I'll take all the heat, mate. Don't worry, I'll take all the heat. I can tell them all jog on when they're going to do nothing. Yeah, Laura Woods is nicking a living, mate. Like I said, she must be very good at what she's doing elsewhere. Is all I'm saying. But anyway, now we've got all of that out of the way. Big up to everyone watching, man. Nearly 600 people watching. Appreciate it. Show some love to the channel. Hit the like. Show some love to Jez and Kenny. Their links are in the description for their channel and Insta. Show some love to my second channel, man. And if you want to help edit, if you want to become an editor for the channel, then hit up my link. The email is down there. send your portfolio or just some bits of your portfolio. Show me what your work's like. And I want somebody who's top class. I don't want none of this fucking wishy-washy shit. I want top draw. I know what I want to do. I've got the ideas in my head, and I'm going to reply to everyone maybe later tonight. But I am working. I'm with Dan Potts in half an hour, and then I'm with Henry. So maybe later I will reply to all the emails that I've already received. If not, it will be tomorrow. But yeah, man, let's talk about the football. Jez, I said from the start of the tournament, Argentina. They then fucked up in the first game and lost to Saudi Arabia. And I was like, oh my days, they've just lost their 36 unbeaten run. They ended up winning it. Leo Messi pretty much dragging that team with big moments in big games. But the way they built that team around him is probably the most balanced Argentina side I've seen in my lifetime. Because normally it's just so disjointed. I thought it was a masterclass playing Di Maria on the left wing because he normally plays him right. They normally have Acuna on there. Brought him on second half, and the game went a little bit flat after that. But they're 2-0 up. It's petering out. We're thinking, well, this has gone a bit stale. Yeah, France didn't have a shot on target until about 78 minutes or something, or 80 minutes when the penalty went in. All of a sudden, penalty, bosh, Mbappe, you knew he'd score. You knew he'd score. And then 1 minute later, what a fucking goal.
Yeah.
Like, what a goal, mate. Like, and then you're thinking, oh my days, Argentina have bottled this. Because the momentum's swinging, everything's changing. France look up for it. The France manager, I thought he made some great subs. He subbed off Dembele, who I thought had a shocking tournament. I rate that kid, but he's been shit. He took off Giroud. I thought, well, that's a bit bold. He's taken off your target, man. He brought on pace. He brought on power. And after they got back in that game, or after 75 minutes, you could see that the momentum was swinging a little bit. And then they got the fucking goal, the penalty. Then they got the second goal. And then it went extra time, and they kind of retreated a little bit, you know, which played into Argentina's hands. Then when it goes 3-2, you're thinking, well, that's it. Messi's done it. Then there's another penalty, and you're thinking, what's going on here, man? And that game was absolutely insane. And you're a bit older than me, Jez. You've seen a lot more World Cup finals than I have. And you've seen a lot more finals in general. Where does that rank? Is that the best final you've ever seen?
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. I was absolutely captivated during watching that game. Yeah, you know, I'm a bit older, and I've seen a few World Cup finals. First one was 1970, and it was incredible. I mean, that 70 World Cup final, Brazil 4, Italy 2, was a great game to watch because you had Pele, Jairzinho, fantastic footballers. But that Argentina team, to me, was something else. Something else. I've got no time before people say about the Argentina game that when they beat Germany 3-2 because you had the biggest cheat in the world playing. But no, I mean, Messi was just, he's just, you know, I'd love to have actually be able to say I've actually seen him play live. I haven't.
I have once.
Yeah,
once.
You have. I haven't. I don't know if Kenny has. I
have as well. Didn't do much, but he still scored.
Well, the thing is, you know, when they went 2-0 up, I thought, oh, well, that's it. That's job done. You know, France are out, you know, and it'll just now be a capitulation by France. But then all of a sudden, 2-2. I'm thinking, what? What? And Argentina started to look a bit wobbly on the old, you know, on their legs. I'm thinking, oh dear, this could go the other way now. I had a little £10 bet on France to win. Obviously, they didn't. There you go. Never mind. That might have paid for a turkey at Christmas, but you know, no, it's not. But I just absolutely love this World Cup. I don't know. I think Qatar have hosted it fantastically. The fact there's been no trouble, people look like they were happy, smiling, loads and loads and loads of little kids there having the times of their life. And I think it's been absolutely bloody awesome. And Argentina, well done, Messi, and well done to the fact you got the robe from the Qatar royalty. It is showing a mark of respect, probably the greatest footballer I've ever had the privilege to see, and probably will be the greatest footballer I'll ever see in my lifetime. I don't think anybody's ever going to touch him again. You know, I've seen George Best, great footballer, and that ilk, but I'm sorry, this guy is something else. And big up to him. I hope he ends his career in the best way he can, and he has, with the fact he's won the World Cup, and he's won everything apart from the FA Cup.
Well, he's never won a Premier League, mate, so you can't put him in the GOAT category, apparently. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kenny, what did you make of it, mate? You put in the chat, in our group chat yesterday, how can anybody ever say Mbappe's not the guy? Because I'm one of them, by the way, that don't particularly rate him. But I will just say this very quickly. He's got some fucking balls on him to take a penalty 3 times the same way. Yeah, in a final.
The thing about that, right, is that it was a case where both, you've got to respect, one of the reasons why I love the final so much is the fact that you went from one extreme to another. Argentina were coasting. France, one of those people, you know when you get in a ring and someone just basically throws bombs, you don't know what's happening, you take the knee sometimes, and you think you just can't wait for it to end. And that's how it looked. For the first 60 minutes, France didn't want to be there, you know. But, you know, the coach of that game was actually Deschamps. He just thought, right, Giroud, he didn't even wait to half time. He said, right, Dembele, you've got stage fright. He throws in the biggest game of your life. Off you go, Giroud. Off you go. Giroud, you know, threw his bottle down. But, you know, the person you've got to give a lot of credit is Colin Miami. I'll tell you one thing, he plays like Manu Adebayor.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does.
As soon as he came on, he kind of changed the game. You got Argentina turning, you know, he got them back in the game because even before, you know, he got the penalty, he was always attacking. In fact, he was the only one who really wanted to know about it. And this, you could say the same for Thuram as well. Both of them actually dragged their countries back in the game because Rabiot was a disaster. He could have gone off because he was an absolute disaster. You know, Koundé was struggling. He got absolutely bullied by Di Maria. But I think what really cost Argentina as well, they thought they had the game done because they were pressing France. But when France gave it back to them and they saw the physical strength, they couldn't cope with it. And I thought with France missed a trick because in extra time, when they switched off one moment and let Argentina go 3-2, it was a case where they had to get back into the game. If there was a case where they scored first, I think they would have got a third of a foot. They would have got another goal because they were in that much control. But again, they got overconfident because they thought, you know what, you know, Argentina ain't going to come back at us. And again, it was players like, you know, Messi. It was players like DePaul. DePaul was brilliant yesterday as well. So for me, easily the best game I've seen in a long time, especially in the final because it had drama. And Mbappe. All I say to a lot of people, if you're going to have a go at Mbappe, if you don't rate him, you don't rate him. But don't not rate him because he's in competition with your favourite player. It's not about that. You can still.
I feel like I'm being horsewhipped here, Kenny.
You can still. That's what I'm. This all argument. What I don't like, right, is about this argument about great players. You've got pork chops like Jamie Carragher. Well, he was 8 in 1986 when Rodrigo Morales was playing. But he's saying end the debate. Bastian Schweinsteiger was born in 84. He was 2 when Argentina won the World Cup in 86. And they're having the audacity to say end the debate when they haven't seen Maradona play, they haven't seen Pele play. They've seen a player of their era play, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with saying you think Messi's the best. Nothing wrong with saying Cristiano Ronaldo is the best. There's nothing wrong with anything. The debate is ongoing. The debate doesn't end because Messi won the World Cup. Because guess what? You thought it before that. You thought Messi was the best player of all time.
Yeah, 100%.
Before the World Cup started. Because in your era, within your era, in your 20s, he is the player of your 20s and 30s. So you've got every right to say that. You know what I mean? I'm telling Lee.
Listen, Kenny, you can keep going, man. I'm here for it. This is why we get on so well because we respect each other, mate.
What I'm saying, right, is that you can't go up and close the argument because it suits you. You don't think, right, I've got to change someone's mind because Messi won the World Cup. He was a great player anyway. even before then, he was part of that discussion. Not just him, but Cristiano Ronaldo part of that discussion way before this final. But the fact is that you know it's the best debate in football. You know, not just Cristiano Ronaldo versus Leo Messi, but Cristiano Ronaldo, Leo Messi, Cruyff, Pele, and Maradona. Because I'm of an age where I've seen all of them play.
Yeah.
So that's why I think, right, let's have a debate about this. But when you've got people who haven't seen these guys play, just end the debate, like Jamie Carragher, you're meant to be a pundit. You're meant to be giving your opinion, but don't think it's a fact. And that's why I've always thought, hang on here, slow down, guys, slow down, enjoy this World Cup. You know, I prefer Cristiano Ronaldo. I think he's the best player in the world at the moment. Is he the best of all time? I think Pele and Maradona are the best, but Messi is in that bracket. It's just like
it's personal preference. That's all it comes down to. It's like you think Henri's better than Bergkamp. I think Bergkamp's better than Henri. It's personal preference.
But the thing about it, right, is that I always say with Henri and Bergkamp, if anyone told me Bergkamp's the best player we ever had, I won't argue with them. And I wouldn't argue vice versa because I could see both points. I could see why people see Messi as the best player in the world because of the fact that Messi's an individual player. He runs the ball, beats his man, and scores goals that FIFA goals. So I get it.
Picture-book goals, man. They're scrapbook goals, isn't they?
Yeah, and I get why people like Cristiano Ronaldo because Cristiano Ronaldo went there, changed his game, was determined to be the best, and went there and proved it. He didn't just score Messi type goals. He scored tap-ins and great headers that defied belief. Pele, you know, all those goals he scored for Santos, all that, you know, the fact that he won 3 World Cups. And it's the same with my guy, Diego Maradona, win the World Cup on his own. There's loads of arguments, and it's a debate. You can't have a debate like this in 5 minutes. Oh yeah, he's won the World Cup. End of debate. Let's go and watch it. Really?
It's true. It's true. For me, you're spot on what you said, yeah. Like it's personal preference, and it comes down to what you like in a footballer. Like you like somebody. I'd imagine you rate Alan Shearer very highly if you rate Ronaldo. Yeah, because Shearer is ruthless in front of goal. Yeah, exactly. Because that's a preference for footballer that you like. Yeah, you can appreciate all types of footballers, of course you do. Yeah, and you know football better than I ever will. Right? I actually thought there were other strikers better than him, but yeah, I respect his career. No, there has been strikers better than Shearer, 100%.
In that era, I thought there were other strikers better than him, but Shearer got his chance.
Yeah, Michael Owen. I mean, Michael Owen was just fucking ridiculously good, man. Ridiculously good. Yeah, there was other strikers around Europe. Batistuita's one of them. He was unreal. Like, what a player. Yeah, it comes down to personal preference, and like your preference is Ronaldo. Yeah, you're what, 10 years older than me? Yeah, so you're more experienced to talk about goats than I am because you've seen other goats that I ain't. I see Maradona when he was coked off his face. Yeah, you see him in his prime. Like, you know what I'm saying? And he was still good back then when he was running up to the camera like that. But you've seen him when he's single-handedly dismantling teams. Yeah, and Jez, you're even older, so you've seen even more goats. Yeah, and it all comes down to preference. But I want to talk about Mbappe because there's so many people in this chat asking, Lee, how can you hate on Mbappe? Yeah, do you know what I don't like about him? There's certain footballers in the world that I just don't like them. I don't like their attitude. I don't like they're just arseholes. Neymar's one of them. Can't stand him. Yeah, can't stand him. Don't like him. John Terry, couldn't stand him. Wanted to see him cry. Ronaldo, another one. Mbappe is in that mold, right? You can't deny that guy is going to break every fucking record in World Cup history. Yeah, you can't deny that. Yeah, he's scored a hat-trick in a World Cup final. He actually scored 4 if you include the penalty and penalty shootouts. Yeah, all 3 of his penalties went the same way, and not once did you think Lloris was saving any of them. Not once did anyone seriously sit there and think he was missing on all 3 of them. Yeah, he's got fucking ice cold, like just blood running through his veins. He don't feel pressure, which you have to say fair play. Yeah, fair play. He's electrically quick. I think that in that particular game yesterday, it come a point in that game where as soon as he scored that penalty, right, that's it. I'm getting the whole country on my back. And let's not forget here, no Benzema, no Giroud on the pitch, no Dembele on the pitch, no Pogba, no Kante. That was a depleted French side that went into that tournament. Still a very good French side. But now none of them players are on the pitch. And for him to go and score a hat-trick, mate, you have to fucking say, well done. Like, honestly, I can't stand him. Yeah, the same as every time Ronaldo scored a hat-trick for Madrid, I just wanted to fucking smash my telly up. Yeah, that's how I am with him. I just don't like him. Yeah, I just don't like him. I think he's undeniably gonna be the best footballer on the planet. But at the same time, let's be real. Who's coming through that couldn't get near him? Is the pool of players is not like it was in the fucking 90s. Like, let's be honest here. Yeah, only Haaland. That's the only guy that can probably take anything off of him. Yeah, and win Ballon d'Ors off of him, because he is going to win Ballon d'Ors. He is going to win Golden Boots. He is going to be the all-time top goal scorer in World Cup history. I think he's already level with Pele. Yeah, I think he's 4 behind Miroslav Klose. He's 23. I think he's 24 tomorrow. Yeah, so he is going to break all of these records. But for me, I just don't like him. Yeah, I don't like him. I think that there's no doubting that he is a problem because of his pace. Electric, man. I've never seen a player that quick on TV in my life. I've never seen him live, by the way. Yeah, but I've never seen a player that quick. And they're scared to touch him because he's so quick and because his feet are rapid. Like, he can just flip it, drop a shoulder, and he's gone. Look at your stage. Fucking run into that penalty box. They didn't want it, mate. They didn't want to get anywhere near him, because one slight touch, bang, he's going down. Yeah, so he will break records. He will score goals, and he is gonna be World Ballon d'Or, Player of the Year, multiple times, whatever. Fair play to him. Good luck to him. He's worked his nuts off to get to where he is. Yeah, the fact that he's earning £3 million a week, I think, scandalous, because he's not a £3.5 million a week footballer. Yeah, I don't think anyone's worth that. I don't think even Messi, and I love Messi. Messi's not worth £3.5 million a week. Sorry. Yeah, nobody deserves that much money for kicking a football around, mate. Like, I'm sorry, they don't. It's scandalous, especially when.
Who would have it though, Lee? Sorry, who would you give it to? Because, you know, Jez, obviously you're a bit older than me, but do you remember there were times when great players of yesteryear, they said whenever the club didn't want them, there was one player who played for West Bromwich Albion. He got a letter say his services weren't required. There were loads of players who weren't required. I mean, there were some players like Jackie Milburn, who used to fill stadiums for England and fill stadium in Newcastle. He didn't get. He still had. He didn't get a good wage. The fact is, if you're bringing money into the game, then I'm of the believer the goose that lays the golden egg should get all the money, because maybe that may not be popular, but the fact is, why should some executive get the money when he's not the reason why all three of us are on this podcast?
Very good point.
Absolute facts. But the thing is, the way I see it, right? You two have grown up in different eras of football than me, like a generation or so before me, yeah. Right, so you've seen the 70s and the 80s. I've seen the 90s and the noughties. That's it. Yeah, and the era we're in now, right? And for me personally, I think the 90s was the best era of football we're ever going to see. And if you go through the list of players that were fucking world-class footballers playing on shit football pitches, big up Southern Guna in the chat, by the way. When we did player ratings the other night, me and him sat backstage for about 4 hours. Yeah, just going on.
4 hours after I left.
I was there until about 4 in the morning. 3-4 in the morning with Matty, and we were just going through Del Piero goals. Yeah, then it'd throw up Pele, then it come up Maradona, dribbles, then it was and YouTube just did, the algorithm just knew, and it just went. So we were just sat there and we were like, what the fuck? Alan Shearer goals, stuff like that. It was mad. And I think that night, and Ronaldinho and stuff like that. And I think that era of the 90s, you could literally name 200 world-class players just off the end of your tongue. It just rolls off 200 names in the 90s. How many world-class players are there in this era? And that's not taking anything away from Mbappe, because he can only play in the era he's born in, right? Yeah, which is cool. And he will be the best player in the world. I don't personally think he's that talented. Yeah, he's super fucking quick, and he knows where the back of the net is. Yeah, which in modern football is going to cause problems. Put him in the 90s, I don't think he'd be as up there. But that's just my opinion on it. Yeah, people say I've got an agenda. I ain't got no agenda. I just don't fucking like him. Simple as that. That ain't an agenda. It's a preference. I do not like the guy. I do not like Neymar. Yeah, I can understand and appreciate Neymar as a super gifted footballer. I don't rate him. I don't like him. Don't like him. Ronaldo, the same. Don't like him. John Terry, didn't like him. Yeah, there's certain players that I just don't fucking like. Yeah, and if people think I've got an agenda, cool, go and play FIFA, man. I couldn't care less, because I still don't like him. So, do you know what I mean? I can appreciate that he's going to score a hat full of goals, and he scored a hat-trick World Cup final. Yeah, only the second person to do that ever. Yeah, that is fucking insane. Yeah, and with 10 minutes to go, when that game was petering out, he took the country on his back. So you've got to praise him for that. You've got to say fair play. Yeah, whether you like him or not. He literally said, "No, fuck this. We've scored that penalty. Right now, we're going to win this." What more could he do? What more could he do? And they very, very nearly won it. That save from Emi Martinez at the end. Oh my days! Like that, the fucking eyes lit up for that guy. He'd already got the trophy in his hand. Yeah, what a fucking save for Martinez, though, man. And then Lautaro missing a sitter down the other end. That game was sick. Game was absolutely sick. But yeah, Mbappe, I hope that clears it up for people. I just don't fucking like him. Simple as that. Yeah, same with Mesut Ozil. Didn't like him. Didn't like him. So I'll rate you when you do well, and I'll praise you and I'll say cool. But nah, not for me, mate. He's not the type of player that I get out of my seat and think, fucking hell, you're good. Yeah, he ain't. He just ain't. He ain't that type of player for me. But there we go. Listen,
I'd take him at Arsenal, though, Lee.
No, yeah, I'll take him at Arsenal as well.
Who's that?
I don't. Mbappe.
I'll take him at Arsenal all day long.
There's a player yes, yesterday. I know what it is about that player, right? But he caught my eye. Obviously, he killed off Morocco with a second goal. But the way that guy plays, I just think that guy reminds me so much of Manu Adebayor when he's on song, to the extent that he's unplayable. That guy is a find. Whoever, any club should go and get that guy. And like I said, because I'll tell you one thing, he's going to be a top player for France, mate. If you look at commiserations of France, because Argentina, they clearly had a mission. They clearly had played for the country. I mean, the patriotism of Argentines towards their country. I shake their hand. I felt
the scenes in Buenos Aires after the first goal. Somebody put it on that they were just on their patio. And they were just filming out of their patio on their balcony, all the fucking tower blocks. Yeah. The whole country was going nuts. No people could leave their houses.
I think you think about it, they love the country. But if you look at France, when they talk about England having a conveyor belt of talent, not a patch on France. Not a patch. England wouldn't lose that amount of players and get to World Cup final, and should have won it. Because let's face it, it's all subjective. But the way France came back, the way they're looking strong, they could say, well, we could have and should have won it. They could say, well, if we turned up, but football's not about that. You have to, if you don't turn up on a day, then you're never going to turn up. But the conveyor belt of talent coming through that country, Thuram, raw as anything. Someone gets hold of him, he's going to be a top player. Cannaviglia with Real Madrid.
He was brilliant when he came on yesterday.
He's another find. You got their best players, only 23. You've got Carlo Muambi, who's a great player. You've got Kanate. He's going to be something else. The conveyor belt of talent they got to call on from. If France, get at, don't let infighting get in the way. Them, not England, will be winning tournaments coming across. Because I'll tell you one thing, right? England have got a battle on their hands. If France become the team I think they're going to be. You could have great managers playing for England, but it'd be a battle to actually win trophies if France players come good. Because I was astonished by what I was seeing when I saw coming to the bench and the players I've seen so far. You think about the players in games.
100%, mate. There was
a great state.
No, go on, mate. Go on.
No, French football's in a great state. So
there's a player I want to ask you about, Jez, because he plays for Brighton. And I've said for a while, that he's a fucking good footballer. I really like that McAllister lad. His work ethic, up and down, up and down, up and down. So gifted talent-wise, like close control. Yeah, and I know it was a simple pass really for Di Maria's goal. Yeah, but he made it look even easier than it should have been. Like the weight of passing it, Di Maria didn't have to check his stride, take a touch or anything, just slap it in. I thought he was very close to being player of the tournament, but obviously Messi got it because he scored in every knockout round, and obviously dragged the team. But McAllister, mate, I'd take him at Arsenal in a fucking heartbeat.
Oh, mate, I tell you what, I was just going to bring this up actually, that a statement from Mr. Arteta about with the injury that we've now got to Smith Rowe again. Oh
no, please no. Please no.
I mean, his hamstring's gone again, and the statement he's making, well, it hasn't changed our outlook on the transfer window. Are you having a bloody laugh? Now, if these guys are serious in what they want to achieve, i.e. Edu and all that bloody clan, go to Brighton. I'll be driving down to Brighton now or today and knocking on the door, speaking to his agent and saying, we want to buy him. How much do you want? Not sitting back, piss-arsing around. Yeah. No, sorry, I went Reece Nelson. I do apologise. It's Reece Nelson.
Not
I thought Smith Rowe.
Yeah, sorry.
I feel for the guy because I was thinking, not another injury. When is this guy going to get luck? Yeah.
He's injury prone. We know that. But at the end of the day, Arsenal, we're playing Wednesday night, isn't it? We're playing Oxford United in the Carrier Bag Cup. So
no, that's in January, mate. When we're out of the Carabao Cup, right?
We're playing them in 2 weeks' time, innit? We're playing them in about 3 weeks' time.
Yeah, January, first week of Jan. Yeah, we got knocked out of the Carabao Cup to Brighton.
Remember, I don't know what you're about anywhere. I had a mate of mine ring me today saying, "Are you going to watch the game Wednesday night?" I said, "I'm sure we're out," but he said, "No. We're playing Oxford." I said, "I don't think we are." So,
no, we're not.
He must be on.
They're playing Charlton, innit? They're playing Charlton in the League Cup.
Yeah. We got knocked out to Brighton. The game weren't on telly.
That's right. Yeah. He's on something today. Then he does like a bit of a drink, but yeah. I mean, go and do the business. Go down to Brighton, knock on the door at the Amex, and say, right, we want to buy McAllister, and do the damage. Do the damage. We can't sit back. We're coming up to next Monday, playing West Ham, and is everybody going to be fit? I don't know. So.
Right, is Saliba going to even be in the squad? I know he barely played for France, but I think he played 40 minutes. But is he going to get a week off or 2 weeks off? Or is he just going to come straight back, Saliba? I don't know. Saka and Martinelli, I'd expect to start. But we don't know about Saliba, do we?
It's his side, though, isn't it? By all intents and purposes, those players who wanted to get to the club quickly and start and carrying a good time, I think, depends on the environment, isn't it? If the environment's in a good sort of place and everyone can't wait get back to the club because of winning matches, then Saliba will be back there like a shot. They say, even though we're not massive, we're not fans of our manager. They say it's a great place to be, and that everyone can't wait for training, can't wait for games.
Well, that's good. That's good to hear, though. And listen, we've all been proven very wrong on Aaron Ramsdale, mate. Yeah, I don't think there was a single Arsenal fan we see that said, "Yeah, top keeper, let's sign him." Yeah, I don't think anyone wanted Aaron Ramsdale. And we've all sat there for the last 18 months that this geezer's signed for us saying, what a fucking goalkeeper.
Yeah.
So if we end up at the end of the season saying what a manager Mikel Arteta is, then fantastic. Simple as that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. We want to be proven wrong because we want the team to succeed. And if we succeed, that means he's succeeded.
Exactly. And that's what I don't understand, why people get so upset by us that they hate on us, and we get it because we actually want Arsenal to win stuff.
It's strange. It's a strange phenomenon for a lot of fans because they think that that Arsenal's like our children, that it should be an unconditional love. Not just privately, but unconditional love publicly. And it is unconditional love. It is love, but it's tough love. There's no condition. We're not going to go and support someone else because Mikel Arteta's Arsenal manager. We're not going to go and support someone else because we haven't won the league for 18 years. Some might, but we won't. The fact is that we just want to up their game, and to give standards. And let's face it, Mikel Arteta proves us wrong because of what I went through as him as coach. I'm going to keep on, and praising him every season because I want him to keep the standards that I want him to set. Because at the end of the day, that's what big clubs do. You know what I mean? I don't care about all this rubbish. Oh yeah, you can't win all the time. Every dog has its day. I'm sorry, they're the same people who on sports day, when your child was when you've gone around teaching your child how to run, doing running races and getting ready for that race that means so much to him. He goes and wins it, and then rather than him get the accolades deserved, all the other losers get a medal.
Mm.
So your son has to feel guilty about wanting to win. That's how they're trying to make us feel, because we have the temerity to be upset that we haven't won the title for 18 years.
Yeah,
what's wrong with people? Don't they want to win? I want to win.
No, they don't, Kenny. It's not about winning. It's all about getting an award in the media, or getting into the media, or getting along with everyone because they want to be seen as positive Arsenal fans. Yeah, like these people are tapped. Yeah, they're losers.
Lately, as we've seen with all these awards, only one can win, only one can get the bronze medal, and only one can, only one could be like the gold medal, and within your category. The fact is that, it just shows you one thing, right? No matter how much you try to sell yourself, it seems that you can be level-headed, but when the torch of fame comes shining on your head, be it a full head of hair or bald head, you love the limelight. Doesn't matter who you are, no matter how much you try to accuse other people of wanting that for themselves and how much you try to deny it. It shows a lot of people want that limelight. They want those awards. They want those sponsorships. They want to give up their jobs to do this full time. Good luck to them. Respect here, because you're human.
Yeah, thanks. Listen, we are going to wrap this up because I'm live with Dan Potts 2 minutes ago. Late again, as always. I don't even apologise for it. It just is what it is. Mate, as he said the other day very quickly, that somebody who turns up late, whether it's for their friends, family, or whatever, that person will live longer because they genuinely don't care. They got no stress. Yeah, people that are rushing around, always rushing. Oh my God, I got to get there. Apparently they die earlier than people that just turn up late for everything. So I'm not changing anytime soon.
I always make sure I'm about 20 minutes early for everything.
Yeah, but that's your generation. Yeah, like I bet Jez is the same. Like you're always waiting backstage for fan cams, isn't you, Jez? Yeah, same as my parents. They turn up 20 minutes early for everything, and I'm like, oh,
I was late today. I was late.
Yeah, but I'm late, and I said to you, but you told me you were going to be late. Yeah, whereas I just turn up late. Like people will say, oh yeah, but that's rude. That's not respectful. Well, the place ain't going anywhere. Like the place is still going to be there. Like it might be closed when I get there, but it's not going anywhere.
Jez, this is someone who's worked for himself for virtually all his life.
Yeah, all my adult life. Yeah, I literally get out of bed when I want, work when I want, and go home when I want. So if I had a normal job back in the day, Kenny, I would have been sacked real quick, mate, because I'm late for everything, literally.
You do know estate agents, they always make sure they're on time and they're never late. So you can't be a estate agent.
I'm happy being a YouTuber. Although I do actually, do you know what? I'm very quickly, right? That was actually the job I wanted to do. Yeah, when I was leaving school, I wanted to be an estate agent. Yeah, and I just never did it in the end. I've never done it. But do you know what? I think I'd actually be good at selling real estate. I think I'd be good at it. But I wouldn't want to do these little fucking tiny houses. I'd want to do the mansion ones. Especially out here. I could do that in Marbella and fucking Port of Banús, just rock up in shorts and flip-flops. Yeah, to some Norwegian billionaire. Yeah, and just say, do you want it or not, mate? Exactly, that's how I am. Do you want it or not? Anyway, big up to Ben for the donation, man. Merry Christmas to everybody. We will be back next Monday. Although, next Monday is Boxing Day.
We'll be back next Monday because it's a football.
Oh shit! Yeah, we won't, will we? You'll be at the game. We'll have to. Maybe I don't know. We're talking in the chat. We're talking the chat because we can't do Christmas Day, obviously. We'll have to think of something. But yeah, we will be back again at some point. Big up to everybody who's chucked donations in, subscribed, liked, commented, all of that. Make sure you follow JEZ'S channel and Kenny's Insta. They're both in the description. And Dan Potts' channel link is now in the chat again. I am literally on there in 1 minute. I'm going toilet and I'm going straight onto Dan's channel. I'm on with Henry Wright later as well. Oh, also, Goonie is live. If you want to go and check out Goonie's channel, Goonie's going live now as well. So go and check out Goonie's channel as well. But yeah, we're out of here very quickly. Jez, what you got coming up, mate?
Might be doing a show, Kenny, if you're around, or I don't know if you're busy, Lee, on Wednesday night.
Wednesday. I'm definitely. What's happening on Wednesday? Oh yeah, I'm definitely back. So we definitely do that Wednesday. All I want to say is, well, yeah. Oh, sorry.
And then Christmas Eve, we're doing a show with Christmas show with Gracie May. We're basically just going to get anybody on who wants to come on and go from there. The one I did last night was fun. I've never done it before. I actually put the link in the chat. I had a few people on that I'd never met before, and it was really, really good fun. It was a great show last night. Absolutely loved it. So that's the plan.
There we go. Kenny, what about you, mate?
I'm just gonna, come back down to earth after the great football we've been watching. Find out what to do. Probably get back to doing some like cooking for the family, which is very, very rare. But one thing I want to say, the greatest.
You're in the doghouse at the weekend, weren't you?
I've been cooking meals, but I just want to say, leave you wonders. The greatest player of all time is open to debate. He's open to debate. You didn't let me finish. You thought I was going to name someone. It's open to debate. The debate is ongoing. Enjoy it. Enjoy it to the day you die. Have fun. Don't let anyone close it off to you. I'm sure you're going to see I'm sure you're going to see Mbappe in 5 years' time, and you're going to be having arguments about him maybe in 5 years' time. But it's all
absolute facts, man. Facts. I'm just blessed that I've seen so many good footballers. But listen, we could carry on for 2 more hours, but I do have to go. I'm 7 minutes late now. I'll be on Potts' channel in 30 seconds, people. Kenny, right. Jez, everyone in the chat, big up to all of you guys. Appreciate it. And we're out of here, people. Adios, amigos.
Take care.
Southgate out.
Out. Don't come back, Southgate.